Senate Bill 2540 is an extender on the Healthcare Industry Zone Act, line 27 and line 764. It extends the repealer out to 2029. That is the explanation of the bill. Are there any questions? Senator Blunt for a question.
Do we have any information on the amount of the tax credits that have been awarded under the existing law and where they've gone and the effect on the local areas?
I do not have that. We can get our friends at MDA to get that information to us.
Yeah, I've been communicating with Mr. Cork when I saw this was on the agenda, and I think he's working on getting us that, but I didn't know if you had it. I think it'd be helpful to have before we vote on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Senator Bryan for a question. You have it.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I've been trying to work through all the sections and subsections and sub-subsections and little a's and little b's and
Don't forget.
Arabic numerals and Roman numerals, and I'm really confused. Is there anybody that can answer questions about how you qualify as a healthcare industry zone?
I believe I see Ms. Watson here from MDA. If you could, please. Yeah, sure.
Mr. Chairman, the question I have deals with trying to work through the various requirements of 57-117-5, which is the definition of what a healthcare industry zone is. And
Section 4.
so just in layman's terms, it's confusing to me. Do you have to do all of these things or some of these things, or how does that work?
And I apologize, I'm not looking at the statute right this minute, but the company would have to create a minimum number of 25 jobs or invest $10 million to qualify for the incentive and be located within a 7-mile radius of a qualifying hospital.
Well, I'm trying to work through this, and it's got subparagraph 1, MDA may certify a zone if the following requirements are met. And then it's got little a, little b ends with an and followed by little c. So it looks to me like you'd have to have one from subparagraph A, one from subparagraph B, and one from subparagraph C.
Yes, sir. The first step is that the county must be qualified, and that's where that zone, part of that zone definition comes from. And there's a calculation of 3 contiguous counties have to have at least 375 acute care beds. We have a map, but there's only 4 or 5 counties at the most in the state that don't qualify. So that is the first
there are
step.
only 4 or 5 counties in the state that
Don't satisfy the 3 contiguous counties.
do not qualify.
Yes, sir. And so that is the first step. It has to be within a county that meets that requirement. And the second step is the business, investment, jobs, and location.
And I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that the second step is some regulation that MDA has.
Some of it is in statute, the qualifying based on the jobs and investment and within the 7-mile radius of, I think it's of a healthcare facility with critical care beds. I'm looking for that spot.
Well, it looks to me like all you have to do in subsection B is be within 5-mile radius of a facility with a CON for hospital beds.
Yes, sir. It is 5 miles, not 7. I apologize.
So if you're within 5 miles of a hospital, basically, you've checked off B. And then C just says it's got to be allowable under local zoning.
Yes.
So since you tell me that 70-something counties qualify, I guess as far as geography is concerned, anywhere within 5 miles of any hospital qualifies. And the facility doesn't have to be related to the hospital. It just has to be a facility that's within 5 miles of a hospital.
Correct.
So if, for example, I'm a doctor and I've been renting and I want to build an office, if I build an office within 5 miles of a hospital in 70-something counties, I qualify just by doing that.
In theory, yes, sir, but by regulation, there are job and investment requirements to be certified.
Well, do y'all certify zones?
Certified.
Zones. I mean, do you, for example, would there be a area, say a square mile or whatever, that you would certify as a zone?
No, sir. We just verify that the county is eligible based on that definition and that the facility is located within the defined area.
But it says MDA may certify an area as a healthcare industry zone within these counties.
Oh,
And maybe you certify the whole county as the zone. I don't know that you would have to do that, but.
I apologize. This is not a program I
Well,
manage day to day, and so I do
I
apologize.
apologize for trying to be nitpicky about all this, but this is my point, Mr. Chairman. And if I'm saying something that's wrong, speak up and tell me I'm wrong. Over in the following section, if you are located in one of these zones and you have anything to do with healthcare, you qualify for an accelerated income tax depreciation, the sales tax exemption, the fee of lieu and taxes exemption, and an ad valorem tax exemption. All of that just by being located in the zone. And I think it's the case, and I don't think this is theory, that if I'm a doctor and I go open an office up, I qualify for all that. And at least initially, the idea of this bill was to have a healthcare zone a couple of miles away from here in and around the University of Mississippi Medical Center and other hospitals located there, including the Jackson Medical Mall. I think that's what we were talking about when this bill first came up. And before it's over, we've got practically the whole state in this zone. And if you're in a zone, I think you get all of these benefits just for doing what you would do anyway. It's not serving the purpose of trying to create concentration of healthcare stuff. I guess my question is, don't you agree with me? That's what Hayne and
Agree
Miller
with
would
you that,
always
yes.
say.
I was,
Based on those requirements, that is true. By regulation, we do require at least 25 jobs or a $10 million investment to be created. Senator Blunt did request a list, and I think that's on its way to you right now. I think in the last year, we've only approved one project under this incentive.
I think I have an amendment.
okay. Are there any other questions on the repealer? All right, Senator Bryan, state.
The bill has a 2029 repealer.
Yes.
I was going to offer an amendment to change that to 2026. I think this is something that may be broader than we realize. And I think it may be the case that we could have some statutory restrictions, which might focus the exemptions more where they ought to be. But I don't think I can figure them out. I don't think we can figure them all out during this session. And what happens with the repealer is it keeps coming up, just like the repealers in public health do. They come up because the matter of course, we do it and we don't really drill down. I think we have this conversation. I'm just wondering if we had a one-year repealer, if that would at least give us an opportunity to get answers to these questions so that assuming we come back next year to consider the repealer, we might, have time to get work through some of this stuff, which is hyper technical, and B, have an opportunity to think about what changes, if any, we might want to include. So that if the chair would entertain that amendment, that's
Sure.
that's the amendment I would offer, and I think I've cleverly managed to debate the amendment before I offered it.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We're moving. For a motion? Motion is title sufficient to pass committee sub. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.